I'm Dani Phan, former Staff Sergeant in the British Army. I'm a mum and a current rugby player for DMP Sharks. So when I first joined the military, I joined the Royal Electronical and Mechanical Engineers. So basically engines, airframes, weapon systems on helicopters. My specialisation was the AH-64, which was the Apache attack helicopter. First tour I was 19 and my second tour I was 21. When I was in Afghanistan there was times where you needed to recover aircraft and put yourself in frontline situations. You learn to be a soldier and you learn to train to fight, but you don't learn to fix helicopters under fire. No matter what, they have to fly. I had a moment and I thought, I've been working on these helicopters for so long and I actually don't know a lot about what goes on the ground. And I decided I'm going to join the Inc Corps. The Intelligence Corps is about gathering data and information from different sources, land, air, sea, and then coming up with a more strategic picture of what's happening in the battle environment. Yeah, so when I joined the British military, I'd never actually played rugby at all. And one of the great things about the British military, it opens you up to a lot of different opportunities. I can remember being asked to play rugby. There was one girl in the REME and she said, "Hey Dani, do you want to come along and play rugby?" And I thought, yeah, what do I have to do? And she said, all you need to do is take the ball and run. One of my first exposures to the British Army team was being selected and we went straight to New Zealand on tour. That was quite an eye-opener for someone who wasn't a rugby player. Once I got that love for rugby, I just couldn't get rid of it. The great thing about the British Army squad was the camaraderie. What you're trained for, that goes onto the pitch too. So if someone's having a bad day, I knew someone would grab the back of my shirt and pick me up and drag me to the next point. So you never felt alone. You always felt like there was a team around you and everyone would work extremely hard. It was always that one team, that one effort, that one fight. I think that's something that I bring with me everywhere I go. You're only as good as the weakest player. You're only as good as the weakest person on your team. So, it doesn't matter if you run off and think you're a hero, you're not really going to achieve too much. But if you work as a pack and you work as a team, you can always achieve much more. 2016 was my last tour and then I was looking to transition out of the military and leave. When you leave the military, you go through, there was a year void where I felt a little bit lost. Even though, I had a good job, I had a family, I had everything I needed, but I still felt a little bit lost and I realised quite quickly I wasn't missing the military, although I missed the people, I was missing that competitive sport and I missed rugby. I looked up in the northeast, elite rugby and Premiership rugby, and I was put in contact with DMP Sharks. I very quickly realised that DMP ran through people's blood. There was a passion, there was a commitment of what DMP meant to each of the girls. The one common denominator was that love for rugby, and all the girls that were there wanted to be there. They were passionate about it. They wanted to compete in the northeast for that elite level rugby. Yes. Looking back on it, I'm so glad that I joined the military. It gave me so much. The mindset that you're taught, it's the ability to dig deep when times are tough, to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep working hard. When you feel like you haven't got anything to give, actually you've still got a lot to give. So you can go that little bit harder. You can pick that person up next to you and, go for the next ruck, for the next run, the next tackle, whatever that may be to you in your position, get up and work hard. Mentally, it's been a journey. When teams are putting the points on you and you've got that score line. But the bottom line is, what do? Do you give up? No. Do you stop playing? No. Do you try to improve? I think there's always that focus to do better.